Okay, so hey guys, so today's video is going to be a review on more recent and a little bit older Too Faced products. I really wanted to do a brand review of Too Faced next in my new and most recent makeup releases series. I did do a Urban Decay one a month or two back, and then a couple of people asked me to do more brands. I know Norma did, and I'm pretty sure Erin did, so thank you for asking me. So I really wanted to do Too Faced next, and I'm going to be reviewing most of the Peach Collection stuff and just other things that I had picked up, most of their new lip product formulas, some of their palettes, and a few of their blushes. So we're just going to jump right in. I'm just going to start with this first since this is probably the oldest product that I have to review. But I am going to be comparing it to something else. Maybe I'll just put this to the side. So I'm going to try and go in order of when things were released. But I'm pretty sure most of these were released this past year. So let's start with this first because I'm pretty sure this is the oldest product here. This is the Too Faced Candlelight Glow highlighter. I'm kind of like going in a weird order because everything else that was a little bit older, Too Faced wise, is all the Chocolate Bar palettes and the Vegas Nay palette, and I feel like I've talked about those palettes like a million times. You guys know I already really love those palettes, so I felt like I really didn't need to include them in this video. I believe this came out quite a while ago. This is an old product, but I just wanted to mention it because I feel like I've never really reviewed it on my channel. So this is the Candlelight Glow Highlighting Powder Duo in the shade Rosy Glow. First of all, I love the freaking packaging, and this is the only highlighter that I really own from Too Faced. I don't have their newer prismatic highlighters because I've heard so many negative reviews about them. Honestly, I haven't picked up anything recent from Too Faced in about 3 or 4 months. And I know that there's a lot of controversy going on around them right now, so I really haven't been interested in their brand right now. Why are there flakes on my lips? Let's fix that. Alright, I think that's better actually. It's just really annoying me. Okay, that's better. Anyway, that's really bugging me. Hold on one second. Okay, so anyway, this is what the outer packaging looks like. It's a really nice, like, plastic round compact, which I actually really like. I like it's nice and thick, so it won't break very easily. And then this is what the actual highlighter looks like. You have 2 sides to the pan, and then it comes with a really cute little mirror. And this retails, I believe, for $30, so you are paying for the packaging with the little mirror. But honestly, you guys, this is such a good formula. It's one of my favorite highlighters, to be honest. I wish they would have come out with more highlighters in this formula, like more colors. They only have 2 colors in this Candlelight Glow highlighter. I wish they would have come out with more. I don't know why they didn't. You have this beautiful white side, and then you have this really beautiful pink side. And they're just really gorgeous on the skin. I don't know why these don't get talked about more, but they're really beautiful. And they're very soft and pigmented, so look how pretty those are. I just feel like I don't hear anybody talk about these. They are a much older product, but I never feel like I just heard about anything before the prismatic highlighters came out, or really like even when the Chocolate Bars came out. I don't really remember hearing anything about this, but I really do love this product, so that is one of my favorite highlighters to use. So then the next products that I'm pretty sure came out after that, but I'm using these to compare to a bigger palette, but I'm just going to mention them really quickly. I'm just going to compare these smaller palettes to each other in this video. These 2 are the older palettes, and then these 2 are the newer palettes. As you guys know, the Peanut Butter and Jelly was released like last February, and the Sugar Pop palette, I believe, was released last summer or something, or like 2 summers ago. So I'm just going to touch on these really quickly. You guys know the Too Faced Natural Eyes palette is one of my favorite palettes of all time, so I'm just going to show it to you really quickly. I'm really happy that they changed it into the tin packaging. This might be a really short video as well. It might be like a 15-minute video, honestly, because there's not too many products here, but I just really wanted to do this video for you guys. But I just realized that I'm really not purchasing all that much Too Faced anymore because I really have been hesitant because they have been having really bad customer service on their website, and also there's just been really some shady things going on with Estee Lauder. Ever since they got purchased from the company, everybody's saying just their quality is going a lot more down, and they used to care more about their quality rather than just their cute packaging. And their packaging is adorable though, and they know that sucks people in. So it's sad that a company that used to be one of my favorites, I'm now like very hesitant on purchasing from. So yeah. So this is the Natural Eyes palette. You guys know this is like a cult classic favorite. This is when they redid some of the colors in the palette. I use this palette all the time. I really don't have to go into it. It's just a really pretty palette that works all the time. You can actually do multiple looks with this palette. The look that I usually do, I just use like these 5 shades here, and that's basically it. But because I'm trying to hit pan on this shade over here, but it's a solid palette. Like, you always knew when you were getting these smaller palettes or any Too Faced palette, you knew that the quality was going to be good. And now I feel like I have no interest in getting any of their newer palettes, like the Peanut Butter and Honey palettes, the Natural Love palette, no interest in getting any of those. And I haven't purchased a Too Faced palette in a while. So that's the Too Faced Natural Eyes palette. And then I have the Too Faced Boudoir Eyes palette. And honestly, you guys, I really don't like this palette that much. I got it because I really thought the colors were really pretty. And I felt like, I don't know, I just felt like it would have been a good sister palette to this palette. And just the tints are so adorable. They're so romantic looking. But honestly, I just don't think there's enough crease colors in here in order for you to do much with this palette. Yes, it is pretty, but I don't know. I just feel like I have to use this Fuzzy Handcuffs color every time, or I have to use one of these colors, and then they come off a little bit too sheer. I'm not saying it's not a pretty palette, but I just feel like I don't know what to do with it when I use it. I feel like there's not enough colors in here that you could really do something with. I feel like it needed like a matte brown or something, and like maybe another matte pink color, like something a little bit more like this color or a little bit darker. Then I think the palette would have worked a little bit better. But I know that you're supposed to use, you know, this row, or this row, but I don't know. I just feel like there's not that much you can do with it. I know there's like a how-to guide in here, but it's like I like more mattes than shimmers in my crease, and I feel like you don't get enough options with the colors that are in here. Yes, they are very pretty colors, and they do look more romantic looking, but I don't know. I just feel like I never really get inspired when I use this palette. I don't reach for it that often. Yes, I've used all of the colors, but I just don't feel like you really can do much with it. And then we have the Too Faced Sugar Pop palette, which you guys know is one of my all-time favorite colorful palettes. This palette is so adorable. Like, this packaging is so freaking cute. This is when they started coming out with more of the tin packaging, and I swear this packaging is so bomb. I love it so much. It's just so freaking cute. And of course it has the little macaroons on it, which is even more adorable. It's just like, the packaging really sucks you in with the Too Faced products. And then of course it has a really good color selection in here. They did a really good job of these colors I feel like work better together than the Boudoir Eyes one. And it's a little bit weird because this is a colorful palette, and colorful palettes are not as easy to put together as you know, neutral palettes are. But I feel like I've done like more looks with using this palette by itself than I have with the Boudoir Eyes one. Like, I can put like most of these purples go together beautifully, and then you can do like more of a natural look with like a couple of these shades here. And it just, these 2 shades I use constantly for my lid. And then I'll just pop some of like this one in my crease, and then this on like the outer corners, and it'll just look really pretty. So I'm always happy with the pigmentation and the quality of this palette. It is feeling a little bit dry though. I hope it's not getting a little bit old, but It's just a really good palette, but honestly, I feel like it's getting a little bit dried out. But this is one of my favorite palettes compared to the Electric palette. It was like my go-to summer palette when I first got it. Like, I used this like hardcore when I first got it. It was just one of my favorites. This one is Bubblegum, and then this one is Macaron. I'm sorry if I'm like talking a little bit slow too, but I wasn't really doing like full reviews on these. I just wanted to do an overview on them, and then I'm going to compare them to the bigger palette that I'm going to review. And then, of course, the last one that I got was the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. This one, by far, is my favorite. I think I like it even more than the Natural Eyes palette, to be honest, because I do love this palette, but I feel like I'm not like that crazy about the cool tones in here anymore. Yes, it's one of my favorites, but it's not like my all-time favorite now. But this Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette is so freaking bomb. They, again, did such a good job with the color selection in this. And it smells so good. But the pigmentation is so good in this. Like, every time you got one of these palettes, you knew, like, this is how the quality should have been for the peanut butter and honey palette, and I'm hearing that the honey palette is not half as good as this one. This quality is just so good. I've used this so many times. I really want to bust it out and use it again. But I've been using another Too Faced palette a lot more than these other palettes. I actually just busted this out 2 days ago, and I used it, but I haven't used this in a while. But the pigmentation is so good, and the color selection is amazing. My favorite shade is the banana shade. It's just so freaking pretty. Look at that. It's gorgeous. And then peanut brittle, which is that really beautiful bronzy shade. But honestly, their selling tactic with this, yes, this one was a little bit different because you get all these really beautiful tones that were from inspired by the peanut butter shade, which was in the semi-sweet chocolate bar palette, which is funny because it was a cult favorite from that palette. But that, I think that was some people's like least favorite chocolate bar palette, but then they like center this whole collection around the peanut butter the peanut butter shade. And then for a limited time, when they were selling the honey palette at Ulta, they were selling a little honey gloss, and I wanted the gloss more badly than the palette. I just wanted the gloss, but I think you had to buy the palette in order to get the gloss, and I was surprised that they haven't come out with the glosses yet. I was like, that would be really cute, because obviously they have the Too Faced, the peach ones. Why don't they come out with the honey ones too? But yeah, this is a solid palette, so I'm not going to go too much into these. I just really wanted to compare them to this mama right here. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I've never really done an official review of this on my channel, so I just wanted to go over it with you guys. I've been wearing it a lot more often. I am wearing it today, so I really wanted to film this video today when I was wearing a bunch of Too Faced stuff, because I've been wearing more full looks of Too Faced lately just to test out their products more and see if I still love some things or if I hate some things. So this is what the palette looks like. You guys know what it looks like. I really don't have to go over the outer packaging. I just know that it's freaking adorable. Again, suck you in with the packaging. Like, look how cute it is with the ombre and the little peach selling, like, you know, like, we're Sweet Peach, we're certified fresh, you know? And then, obviously, when you open it, I love the packaging of these. Like, it's obviously the same packaging as the chocolate bar palettes. And then, this is what the palette looks like. So, you have 16 shades in here, I believe. Actually, 18 shades. I know some people say that this has the least amount of product in it, but I feel like you get your money's worth out of it. I don't care. Like, I know it's kind of like a little bit of a sales gimmick saying, oh yeah, you're getting more products by getting 18 shades, but it's actually less of a pan size. But honestly, it's the same price as the older palettes, so I'm like, whatever. As long as they don't charge us more for more shades, then I'm like, whatever, I'm good. At least they didn't up the price, you know? It's still the same price of like $49. So you get an adorable mirror. It says Sweet Peach, and then you have the 18 shades. So you have White Peach, Luscious, Just Peachy, Bless Her Heart, Tempting, Charmed I'm Sure, Nectar, Cobbler. I can't read these because I've been, like, there's so much kick up because I've been using it a lot. Candied Peach, Bellini, Peach Pit, Delectable, Peaches and Cream, Georgia, Caramelized Puree, Summer Yum, and Talk Derby to Me. I hate that name. Honestly, every time I look at this palette, I'm like, I hate that name. I don't think I've ever used that shade, just because of the name. But I've used most of the shades in this palette. Honestly, there's probably only 2 shades that I've never touched, which is kind of annoying when you have a palette because you want to use every single shade. So sometimes you don't know what to do, or sometimes you grab for other like single shadows over a palette, which I really have been trying to do less of, and I really have been trying to go for just my palettes lately because, you know, palettes are just easier to use, and you guys know that eyeshadow palettes are my absolute obsession. I fucking love eyeshadow palettes. They're my favorite thing to collect makeup wise, but I really need to do a look with this Bless Your Heart, Bless Her Heart shade. It is so pretty. It's like a really gorgeous olive green. Like, I want that all over the lid. It kind of has like a dual chromeness to it. But, like, you know, they are so buttery when you dip your fingers in. That's how you know, like, it's just a good buttery formula. Honestly, you guys, I really love this palette. This is my favorite shade in the palette. This one is Luscious. You guys know my obsession with this eyeshadow. I freaking love it. I used to use it as a highlighter when I first had it, when I first got it. And then this one is Bellini, which I have all over my lid today. But I find when I use this palette, I don't have to go and grab for another palette. I have everything I need right here. And that's why I like this palette because, yes, I feel that way about the other chocolate bar palettes. And I feel like that's like more of Too Faced's goal when they do a bigger palette like this. Like with the smaller palettes, it's like, you know, you're not always going to get something that works with, I mean, that's what it should be. You know, you're getting 9 eyeshadows that you should be able to do a full look with. But I feel like I do try to use all the shadows that I want to and need to use in the palette when I just use those eyeshadow, when I just use that palette. But sometimes it's a little bit challenging. But with this, I don't feel that way because I always know I'm going to have solid crease shades and solid lid shades. I'm like solid. So it's like, what else do I need? Like, I have a brow bone highlight. I have a transition shade. I have crease shades. I have lid shades. I have outer corner shades. So it's like, that's what I'm looking at in the palette. And some people were just like, oh, you know, there's too many neutral tones in it. It's too boring. It's just a palette with not enough peach tones. And yes, there are not enough peach tones in here. But honestly, I kind of think that they made it very different. I think that there's enough peach tones in here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 peach toned eyeshadows, 7 peach tone eyeshadows. And then the rest are like, you know, kind of fun. I mean, like, I don't think they needed this purple shade. Like, again, I think some of the purple shades are kind of unnecessary, and then the green. But at the same time, it's like you can find something to do with them, you know? Like, you can kind of, like, use these purple shades together and put this on the lid. I think that'd be really, really pretty, and put, like, one of these in the crease. Like, you could do this in the crease and put one of these on the lid. Like, today I always use, what is this shade? Peaches and Cream? Wow. I was reading the bottom when obviously the color's on the top. I always use this shade as my transition shade because it's so similar to Peach Smoothie by Makeup Geek. So I always use that one. And then I used Candy Peach in the crease, and it was just a really pretty peach color. And then I used Summer Yum to darken up the crease more. And then I used Cobbler and Caramelize on the outer corners. And then I used Bellini on the lid. And then I used White Peach on the brow bone. And then I mixed together Puree and Summer Yum and popped that on the lower lash line. And then I highlighted the inner corners with Nectar. So again, I think it's a very cohesive palette. I feel like I don't have to grab for another palette when I'm using this because these are my inner corner shades, or I can use these on the lid, you know, like Luscious is just my favorite. Yes, I probably do grab for the same shades, but you know, I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the shades recently. So that's a pretty good use out of the palette recently. So yeah, I am not a fan of the whole scandal though. It was kind of bullshit, honestly. I think that they really need to work on their customer service, especially with this palette. But I do think that this is a really good formula. I don't know, I feel like they just work for me. They're not hard to blend. They're nice and soft on the eyes. And I don't know, like, I don't think that they just muddy together. Like, and obviously most people are going to agree with me that they think that this palette is one of their favorites because I don't hear very many negative reviews on the palette. But I just wanted to say, like, the difference between this and, like, the smaller palettes, like the Boudoir Eyes palette, is that you get a lot more options in this because you're getting double the product in here. You're getting 18 eyeshadows as opposed to 9 eyeshadows. So obviously you're going to have a lot more of options, and I would suggest you go for the bigger palettes because you're going to end up grabbing for this every single day over this. Because, you know, you're going to want options as well, and you're not going to be able to do all this that much with this palette. If you're trying to go for just one palette, I would suggest you go for the peach palette or one of the chocolate bar palettes over the smaller 9-pan palettes. Because you see how much more options and versatility you can, and differences you can do in this palette as compared to this palette. I said compose. Get yourself together, Caitlin. So I think that the peanut butter and jelly palette is a lot better option if you want to go for something that's a little bit more similar to the peach palette, but you don't want to spend the money. I would highly suggest the peanut butter and jelly palette. You would think you wouldn't really use the purples. Honestly, I use the purples a lot as well. But again, there's some solid eyeshadows in this palette, and it does look very similar to the peach palette. It has like that warm theme to it as well. They're very warm based eyeshadows. So that is the peanut butter and jelly palette, and then the Natural Eyes and the Sugar Pop aren't as similar, but I just wanted to compare those honestly to these two. And then compare these two to this one. That's the only reason why I reviewed these. But those obviously aren't more recent releases. But yeah, I wanted to obviously cover the infamous Sweet Peach palette because it's a pretty well-known palette now and a lot of people own it. And we're expecting a lot from that palette since it was so freaking overhyped. Like, so overhyped. And then they also came out with a peach blush before the Sweet Peach blush, which is this one here. They came out with the Too Faced Sweethearts Perfect Flush Blush in the shade Sparkling Bellini, but they haven't come out with a new blush like this since this one. I believe this came out before the Sweet Peach palette, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully I'm not mistaken. I believe this came out the same time the eyeliners came out. I don't know. I'm just going to do these together and then we'll just jump into the more recent releases. But this is the Sparkling Bellini blush. I'm actually wearing this one today. I'm not wearing the peach one because the last time I used the peach palette, I used the peach one. But I actually really like this formula on this one. I'm not like the hugest fan on the Candy Glow one. And I don't think that their blushes are that good, to be honest. But I think this one is a good blush. It just looks very nice and satin on the skin. I feel like it has a satin finish to it. It doesn't emphasize any texture. It goes on really nice and smoothly. And I think it has a really nice, not really. It actually feels pretty rough in the pan. But it is a baked product, so it can kind of get away with that because it's not a powder product, and usually baked products aren't as soft, and it has like a really nice ombre color scheme to it. I just think it's really pretty looking, and I don't know why I hear so many negative reviews about this one, because honestly I think this one is a really good formula. But I'm going to compare all of the peach blushes that I have from Too Faced like right now basically. So that is the first blush. And then I'm pretty sure they released the the newer blushes like right after that one, because I'm pretty sure I didn't purchase, actually they released the bronzer around the same time as the Bellini blush. I think that was during the summertime. So this is the Too Faced Sweethearts Baked Luminous Glow Bronzer, and this was in the shade Sweet Tea, which is the only shade that they have in it, which honestly they should widen their range to more shades. But obviously this has dual sides, so if you're a little bit darker in complexion, you could probably wear this if you have like a medium skin tone, but I don't think this would work with darker skin tones, which is one of Too Faced's huge downfalls, is that they really don't make a lot of things for dark skinned girls, which that's why I don't understand why Jackie Aina is such a big fan of theirs, because they don't really make things for her skin tone. But anyway, I love this bronzer. I use it all the time for the summertime. I've been using this nonstop ever since the weather got warmer. I wore it today, and I'm pretty sure I wore it yesterday as well. But it has a really nice, smooth, light formula. You don't have to worry about it being too pigmented. It honestly just goes on really beautifully. It gives your face a really nice satin glow. And that's why I really like the baked products from Too Faced, is that they kind of have a satin finish to them. And they just have a really nice formula. So I really like the bronzer as well. And I live in this in the summertime. It's one of my favorite products for the summertime. And then I'm pretty sure after that they came out with the Too Faced Love Flush blushes. And these are the 3 shades that I have. This is the most recent one I have gotten. And this is one of the last products I have gotten from Too Faced recently, was this shade. But these are the 3 shades that I have. I have Baby Love, Justify My Love, and I Will Always Love You. Obviously, they did like this themed love songs, and obviously I Will Always Love You is Whitney Houston, Dolly Parton, and then like Justify My Love, I'm pretty sure is Madonna. So these are the 3 shades that I have. The first shade is called Baby Love. These are the Love Flush Long Lasting 16-Hour Blushes. I mean, come on, the packaging is so freaking adorable. Like, why are they so cute, you know? Drives me crazy how cute the packaging is. But this is the first one, and this one is a really pretty neutral blush. I just wore this a couple of days ago. And to be honest, the formula with this one, and plus it does come with a mirror, so again, you're paying for the mirror because these are like $30 blushes. And then this one is Justify My Love. I didn't get these during 21 Days of Beauty. I'm pretty sure I paid full price for both of these. So these are the 2 colors that I have. They're so cute. Look at the little pants with the little bunnies. And then this one is the pink one. It's such pretty colors. Like, look how pretty these colors are. And then this one is I Will Always Love You, and that is this color right here. This one is much more peach. This one is a lot more neutral. Obviously, you can see I've used this one a lot more because more of the Too Faced is faded. But I like how the pattern doesn't go away like most blushes do with like the overlays. But obviously, this one is the most recent one I picked up, so that's why it doesn't look like it's worn off as much. This is a really pretty everyday neutral blush, but honestly, the formula on these 2 I'm not in love with. These kind of go on, this one obviously doesn't go on as sheer as this one, and it's not like they don't show up, but they do start fading after a few hours, and I don't think that they have the lastability that they claim that they do, but they are very pretty on the cheeks. And then this one, the I Will Always Love You shade, this one really impressed me. I find that with the orange shades from Too Faced, I feel like they last a lot longer than their neutral shades. I don't know about this one because it really did exceed my expectations. I wasn't really expecting anything, and I feel like it lasts better than even the blush that I'm wearing right now. This one, it has a really good formula and really soft when you dip your finger in. It's just a really solid formula. That one is that one right there. So that one is I Will Always Love You. I would highly suggest this one over these 2. I think that this one is the most worth it. Okay, now we're going to jump into one concealer, and we're just going to touch on the foundation. So obviously I'm going to be talking about the Born This Way concealer and foundation. I'm just going to compare the formula of this to this. So obviously you guys know they released the Born This Way foundation like a couple of years ago, and I absolutely adore this foundation. It's one of my favorites. It's gorgeous on the skin. I love it so freaking much. I use this all the time. As you can see, I'm like down to here. I'm probably going to use up this foundation soon because that's how much I have of it right there. That's insane, right? Yeah, I love it so much. So, of course, I was obviously naturally super pumped for the Too Faced Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer. And this one is in the shade Fair. I don't love this concealer, to be honest. I mean, I really like it for no makeup days. I do really like the applicator. It's a really nice, soft applicator. I also really like the scent as well. The scent is not that overwhelming, and it is very hydrating on the under eyes, but it does crease like crazy, and it does settle into my fine lines, so that is what was the turn off for me. I never really fell in love with this concealer, to be honest. Every time I wear it, I really am not that impressed with it. I really thought I was going to fall in love with it because the formula on this is so freaking amazing. This is a lot more long lasting. It goes on beautifully. It's just amazing. I love how natural it looks, but it's like so full coverage. And this is natural looking, which is great, but I just feel like it doesn't really give you that much coverage. And yes, it's hydrating, but I would rather have something that doesn't really crease as much, like my Urban Decay one that I'm wearing today. But I really don't reach for this all that often because I don't think it's that good. But I'm almost done with it, so that's why I didn't return it or anything like that, because it's not very hard for me to use up concealer, so I mostly get my money's worth out of the concealers that I get. So just wanted to touch on that. And then I believe after that they came out with the Too Faced sketch marker. I think these were after this, so correct me if I'm wrong. Everything else should be right, though, after I talk about them. I'm sorry I'm such a mess about the releases, but if I forget anything or am out of order about anything, please let me know. So these are the Too Faced Liquid Art Eyeliners. These are the sketch markers. This one is in the shade Deep Espresso, and this one is in the shade Charcoal Black. And I'm pretty sure that they still have these available. Correct me if I'm wrong. But these were not good either. And this is when I really think, after the Sweet Peach palette, I'm telling you guys, everything else besides their lip products went downhill. And that's why I was a lot more hesitant to purchase things from them. Not that, like, more things were coming out about them that were, like, controversial, but I just felt like the quality wasn't as good. But I tried these, and again, I was so super pumped because I'm like, oh, it's Too Faced, I'm going to fall in love with it. Nah, not really. They just really didn't have good pigmentation. They didn't last very long. They didn't transfer or anything. They just weren't that good. I mean, the black is very black, but these are going to be super watery because they're not new anymore. These are pretty old, but I think I've talked about these before, that I did not like them. I thought since they were going to be sketch marker, that they were going to be really nice to use and work with. They were kind of difficult to work with. I felt like the Kat Von D tip, it was a lot easier to work with than these. So was not the biggest fan of either of these. I would go for the Kat Von D or the Stila over these. But I wanted to try them, and I tried them out for quite a while, so it's not like I didn't get my money's worth out of them, but I wouldn't really recommend them for anyone to try to purchase them again. And now we're just going to talk about some lip products, and then we're going to talk about the Peach Collection, and then we're going to be done. So, yeah, so then first, we're going to talk about the Too Faced lip products. These are the Too Faced Color Drenched Matte Lipsticks. And I have them in two shades, in the shade When in Doubt and Sorry Not Sorry. I did get one of these during Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty, so this is what the packaging looks like. I have like some dust on them. Let's get that off. So this is what the packaging looks like for both of these. I really love the packaging. I love how they're black because Too Faced does not really do black packaging that much. So I was like, when they came out with black packaging, like, it's so like nice and heavy in your hand that it's like makes you think that the product is really worth it. So this is the first shade, and this one is Sorry Not Sorry, and this one is a really pretty peachy color. Oh, it's so pretty. That one is Sorry Not Sorry, Sorry Not Sorry. So that one is that color right there. That is right there. That is a horrible swatch. So that's that color right there. This one's more of like a peachy pink or a peachy color, peachy nude, I mean. And then this one is When in Doubt, which is a little bit more of a nude. It's much more nude, like a pinky nude. Yeah, that one's the pinky nude. The other one's like a peachy nude. You guys know I love my nudes. So those are the two colors right there. And these are really nice on the lips. I wear these a lot. And I really like the formula. They really stay on your lips very nicely. And they're pretty comfortable to wear. They're like a comfort matte formula. Kind of similar to the Urban Decay comfort mats, and they just, you know, they're really good. So I would definitely recommend both of these. I really like the matte formulas of both of these. Obviously they're both matte, but I definitely prefer these over the regular color drenched lipsticks. I think they did a much better job with their matte ones. So those are those, and then the next ones I have to talk about obviously are the, I just want to line these up, the Too Faced Melted Matte Liquid Lipsticks, and these are their version of their liquid lipsticks. You guys, this is probably the last time that I was super pumped for a release from Too Faced. I was so excited to try these and get my hands on them, and now I just don't feel like that anymore with them. I'm just like, don't need it, don't need it. I have like so much stuff from Too Faced. What else do I need, to be honest? And I'm just not interested anymore because of like all the stuff that is going on. It's just like honestly really, it's kind of breaking my heart a little bit because they were my favorite brands. But you guys, this formula was so freaking good. I fell in love with these. I did not fall in love with a high-end or liquid lipstick formula since probably ColourPop before this. These were really, really good. They're really nice and hydrating. They last really long. I just really like them. So I have 4 shades. I have Cool Girl, Sellout, Child Star, and Queen Bee. Obviously, love my nudes. And I wear these a lot. I've been wearing these a lot recently. They just have a really smooth, nice formula. And you kind of want that with your liquid lipstick. So I have Child Star, which is a gorgeous pinky nude. Oh my god, it's so pretty. I almost wore it again a couple of days ago, but it's just like one of the palest nudes that I own, and I freaking love it. Then we have, not Sellout, we have Cool Girl, which is more of a cooler tone nude. It's not as pink as Child Star at all. It's much more of like a brownish nude. So that one is Cool Girl. Then the next one is Sell Out, which I've been wearing a lot the past month because I've been wearing a lot more warmer looks. So I've been wearing this color with it because it's one of the best colors to go with. This is probably my favorite one formula-wise. This one I find you don't get a dry feeling after a while. Like some of those do, the nude shades, obviously, you're always going to have kind of like a drier feeling from nude shades as opposed to darker shades, and they're not going to be as pigmented, but these are pretty pigmented and they last a really long time. This one, I really don't feel like it creates a ring or anything like that. It's just so beautiful on the lips. I love this one. I get so many compliments when I wear this one, and also when I wear this one. This one is the Queen Bee shade. This is a really, really gorgeous shade. It's such a unique shade. It's like a purpley pink, but it's so gorgeous. It's like one of those purpley colors that doesn't really make you look dead, and it's not like too pale. It still has a little bit of like a pansy color to it. It's freaking so gorgeous. It's one of my favorite shades to wear, and I knew that this was the last shade that I needed to get from them. I really want to wear this again very soon. I've been rotating a lot of my purple shades and a lot of my orange shades this month. Those are basically been my go-tos. And now we're just going to review the 2 peach products. We have the Too Faced Peach Papa Don't Peach Blush and the 2 creamy lip oils. Let's talk about the lip oils first since we're on lip products. So these are the Too Faced Sweet Peach Creamy Peach Oil Lip Glosses in the shades Papa Don't Peach and, ooh. Okay, Kaylin, calm down. In these shades, Papa Don't Peach and Peach Fuzz. How many times can I say peach? I think I've said it like 15 times in this video, probably more. So these are the lip glosses that they came out with, and honestly, you guys, these are amazing. These are the most comfortable glosses I've ever worn, but honestly, I've fallen in love with so many lip gloss formulas, but look how beautiful it looks over this lipstick. I just put it over a lipstick, and it just makes it look glossy. Like, there's not as much of a tint to them, so it doesn't, like, completely wash out the color that you're wearing, and it just goes on so beautifully and smoothly. Like, they really nailed it with lip products. Like, I don't know what they did, but they really did an amazing job with their lip products, and I love their regular melted lipsticks as well. I have like 5 shades of those, and I love those. And I also have a couple of the metallic lipsticks as well. So this one is Peach Papadon Peach, and this one is Peach Fuzz. And honestly, I have been living in these the past month or two. Ever since I've gotten them, I've just been grabbing for them constantly to go over like peach lipsticks or something. And I love the smell of them. Before, when I first wore it, I was very overwhelmed by the smell, but now I've really gotten used to it. But honestly, they are so comfortable to wear, and they work really well over lipsticks. And they really don't feel sticky because they're more of a lip oil, not really a gloss. But they still come off really glossy. So they really did an amazing job with these. And then the last one is the Papadon Peach Blush. First off, the packaging is so adorable. Like, it's like a little sister to the, you know, the peach palette. It's just so cute. Like, come on. I can't say that the packaging's not cute because they really do a bomb job with their packaging. So this is the palette, and then this is the little sister. Oh my gosh, it's so adorable. So that's what the packaging looks like with the little cute little peach. And then this is the compact, which honestly, I am obsessed with this packaging. I freaking love it. It's so freaking adorable. Like, this little peach with the little, I love that they made it round. I'm so glad they didn't make it square in the middle. I mean, on the inside, and then they have a little mirror, like, and it's a really nice mirror, actually, but I never use these mirrors, like, but it's a really pretty color, but it's not anything life-changing, to be honest, and this is honestly a straight-up exact dupe for NARS's Luster, which I still don't know why some people have not pointed that out. It's basically identical to Luster or the Balm's Hot Mama. Literally identical. Especially to Luster, but I find that I like Luster more than this because, like I've said before, I find that this blush kind of emphasizes texture and any hair on your face, but it is a very pretty blush. Like, it has a really nice, like, what do you call it, sheer formula, luster formula. I really don't have any room to swatch anything. Let's try and swatch it down here. It swatches a lot more sheer than it is on your face. Like, it swatches, like, not anything special, but it is very pretty on your face. But I don't find it lasts as long as that other... I mean, it does last pretty long, because I think that the peach blushes for Too Faced have more of, like, a staining effect. But I do think it emphasizes your texture. So it's not my favorite blush, but I do like it. So I do like wearing it because of the color. And it doesn't really emphasize my texture too much because I really don't have that much texture. And yeah, that's it. That's it. We got through it, guys. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram as TBW819, and my Twitter is PokerFace819, and my Snapchat is PokerFace819. I literally got home from going out with my boyfriend and just decided to record a video. So I'm like, well, might as well, and I feel like I need to get up more content for you guys because I'm not going to be able to film a haul video for a little while still. And I'm trying to get up more reviews for you guys. So yeah, that's it. Bye!